Vini JR was the star of the show on Tuesday night as Real Madrid fought back from 2-0 down to defeat Borussia Dortmund 5-2 in the Champions League. The Brazilian winger scored a second-half hat-trick, which was rather perfectly timed as he bids to win the Ballon d'Or for the first time in his career. It's rare to see a player perform like Vinicius did in the second half, not just with the goals, but with an extraordinary energy, intensity and character. Ancelotti said, "I think he's going to win the Ballon d'Or for what he did last year, helping us win the Champions League, not for today's 3 goals, which will count towards next year's Ballon d'Or." The racist abuse reportedly left the Brazil international near breaking point, but Ancelotti believes progress has been made on the issue. "I think he is respected as he should be. People boo him because he can make a difference," he added. "The racism issue is being addressed. He's booed, and that's normal, but he is respected in this country." The next Barcelona matches upon us. The Blaugrana face a monster Champions League test in a huge showdown against Bayern Munich, and Hansi Flick has called up the following XX players for Wednesday's game. Goalkeepers 13, Iñaki Pina 25, Wojciech Szczesny 31, Diego Cochin defenders 2, Pau Cubarsí 3, Alejandro Balde 5, Inigo Martinez 23, Jules Kound 32, Hector Fort 35, Gerard Martin 36, Sergi Dominguez midfielders 6, Gavi 8, Pedri 14, Pablo Torre 16, Fermin Lopez 17, Marc Casado 20, Dani Olmo 21, Frankie John forwards 9, Robert Lewandowski 10, Ansu Fati 11, Rafinha 18, Pau Victor 19, Amin Yamal. The French Football League has condemned homophobic chants made by some Paris Saint-Germain fans during the home game against Strasbourg on Saturday. PSG is playing its bitter rival next Sunday in Marseille, and the offensive slurs were made about the club and its midfielder Adrien Rabiot is a former PSG player who made more than 200 appearances for the club from 2012-19 and his move to Marseille is seen as a betrayal. These latest discriminatory chants made by Paris Saint-Germain supporters are unacceptable when, at the same time, the whole of professional football has been working to ban homophobic behaviour and chants from stadiums. The league, known as LFP, said in a statement. Rodrigo was taken off clutching his right hamstring in the 86th minute of Real Madrid's midweek Champions League win over Borussia Dortmund. The Brazilian winger seemed to injure himself whilst keeping the ball in play, which led to his team's third goal of the night completing their comeback. After the match, he posted on X saying, "With fate, this injury won't be a big thing," alongside an image of him nursing the pain. Madrid has scheduled scans on Thursday to confirm when the player will return, but according to reports, he will be unavailable for Saturday's match. Hansi Flick's new look side will welcome his former team in what many are dubbing as the first litmus test of his side. The Blaugrana are also getting players back from injury, with Frankie John, Dani Olmo, Fermin Lopez and Gavi timely reinforcements for Flick ahead of this clash and their Clásico tie on Saturday. Ferran Torres, Marc Bernal, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, Ronald Araujo, Andreas Christensen and Eric Garcia form the injury list. Lopez is back to start by both Sport and MD, who would be making his first start since the Olympics in Paris this summer. Otherwise, there will be no surprises from the Catalan side, with Iñaki Pina continuing in goal ahead of Wojciech Szczesny, as Flick revealed last week. Peak a rematch of the 2023-24 Champions League final. Borussia Dortmund thought they had the match wrapped up in the first half of play, but Real Madrid stormed back from down 2-0 to win 5-2 at the Santiago Bernabeu in an iconic performance from Vinicius Jr. Goals from Daniel Melin and Jamie Gittins put Nuri Sahin's men up at halftime, while Madrid struggled to string attacks together, but all they needed were some adjustments to get back into the match. Vinicius Jr. netted a hat-trick in the second half of play, while Madrid scored not 1, not 2, not 3 or 4, but 5 unanswered goals in the second half. According to Phillips, Chelsea now have Benfica centre-back Antonio Silva on their transfer shortlist as a new defender becomes priority for the club. Silva stands at 6 feet 2 inches tall and has become a regular and important player for his club and also now for his country, gaining 20 appearances at senior international level for Portugal at the age of 20. Pulisic caught the eye yet again on Tuesday as he opened the scoring for Milan against Club Brugge in the Champions League with an extraordinary goal. The US MNT star netted directly from a corner to put the hosts 1-0 up and set the Rossoneri up for a 3-1 victory. The goal is the latest magic moment from Pulisic, who has been playing a starring role for his club this season. Pulisic now has 7 goals and 3 assists for Paulo Fonseca's side, and also bagged an assist for the US MNT in Mauricio Pochettino's first game in charge against Panama. Liverpool hero Dier Hamann has dubbed Trent Alexander-Arnold a Scouse Galactico and admitted he wouldn't be able to blame the right back if he wants to move to Real Madrid. Alexander-Arnold's future continues to be a major talking point, with no indication as yet whether he will still be at Anfield next season. The Reds vice-captain's contract is due to expire at the end of the season, although he has insisted his future will not be played out in public. According to collective reports from Voetbal International, PSV Eindhoven impressed French viewers when visiting Paris Saint-Germain on Tuesday night. Noah Lang, whose excellent low strike gave the Philips Stadium residents the first half lead in Paris, even reminded the home media of Kylian Mbappé, while the 12-time French champions restored parity with an excellent goal from Achraf Hakimi early in the second half. The red and whites proved to be challenging foes and left a lasting impression. Inter Milan manager Simone Inzaghi has delivered an update on a midfield emergency ahead of tonight's clash against Young Boys. During his pre-match chat with Prime, as reported by F-Synchro News, the Nerazzurri boss addressed the midfield crisis caused by several injury setbacks. "We have problems in the same role," the Inter boss said. "We will evaluate Zielinski today. Kalhanabu and Aslani will not be there, as well as Buchanan. But those who are here will make a contribution, including the two Primavera players." Jose Mourinho has told Mano they must pay him a bonus if Man City are punished for alleged breaches of the Premier League's financial fair play rules. Man City deny any wrongdoing, but there's speculation that the Premier League champions could face points deductions, fines and even expulsion from the competition if found guilty. Mourinho, whose Fenerbahce side faced Man Up in the Europa League on Thursday, wants winner's medal and bonus paid to him by the Red Devils if Man City are stripped of their title from the 2017-18 season, in which he led them to second place, 19 points behind the Citizens. Ange Postecoglou has a fresh concern regarding Son Heung-min after the Tottenham star was absent from training on Wednesday. Postecoglou might not want to risk Son in the UEFA Europa League against AZ Alkmaar at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Thursday. Therefore, his absence from training might be simply precautionary. However, until Spurs fans have a clear answer, they are bound to worry. Arsenal are not ruling out Bukayo Saka from Sunday's title showdown against Liverpool after Tuesday night's win over Shakhtar Donetsk in the Champions League. Head coach Mikel Arteta said it was unlikely that Saka would be fit for the visit of Arne Slot's league leaders due to a hamstring injury suffered on international duty, but it is understood that Saka is hoping to prove his fitness for the clash against the Merseysiders, while Arsenal are willing to give the attacker every opportunity to be available for selection. Shakhtar Donetsk's chief executive has claimed Mikhailo Mudryk is a Ferrari that Chelsea do not know how to drive, but Seri Palkin believes struggling Mudryk can still come good at Stamford Bridge almost 2 years on from his sensational €100 million switch. The 23-year-old remains unable to secure a place in the Chelsea starting X and has made only one start in the Premier League so far under Enzo Maresca. The Honduran helped fire Aston Villa to the top of the Champions League table and then reacted angrily to being substituted in the 2-0 win over Bologna. He was immediately taken off and showed he does not like the bench at all as he angrily punched a seat and then headed down the tunnel soon after.